Yeah, I got it. I'm live streaming now. So we are out at Devil's Staircase on the Ice Age Trail, and that formation, I don't know, what's yeah, they come. Oh, I think those are about 20. I am out in Janesville and had planned to do the Janesville segment today, which is about 10 miles. Yesterday we did Devil's Staircase, which was a lot of fun, very interesting. Not great signal out there, so my stream was just a couple of seconds. But as you can see, yeah, we got a lot of snow. And so initially I wanted to, I'm going to see if I can show you guys here. I wanted to hike from here, right there, all the way down here. That's a golf course you hike through. All the way down. Oops, my camera works a little shaky. Haven't had enough coffee. The initial route was to go all the way down here to Jeffries Park, which is roughly 7 miles. Now, of course, I've actually hiked further in worse conditions. However, I have the dog with me now, so I have to figure out what she can take. And I can't really call the hike off. I don't really want to call the hike off because this segment's only available to us until May 15th. After that, they don't allow dogs. May 15th through September 15th. I don't really want to do it in the fall, so really want to try to get it done today. So I think I'm going to shorten the hike from here, this point, down to this point, which is Black Hawk Park. That's one way to go, but what bothers me is it is windy and it is snowing, and there's no shelters from here, well, basically from here to here. There's no shelters. Now, this is all suburban area. This is all houses and subdivisions and whatnot. So I'm sure if I really got into trouble, which I probably won't, I'll just be cold and miserable. But alternatively, I could reverse my course and do the short leg today and start over here at Riverside Park at the Southern Pavilion. And here we have a lot of parking structures, a lot of places that I could possibly stop. And I believe those would be businesses. And so that segment would be about 4.1 miles as opposed to 6.2 miles to come up this way and come into Black Hawk Park that way. So I think that might be the plan for today. So the other thing is we got about 2 to 3 inches of snow. Not enough to snowshoe, but certainly enough to make it so that every step is a half step. And you're working twice as hard to get the same distance. Same is true for the dog. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Not quite sure. I'll discuss it probably further with the people who accompany me. My mother and her friend Dave, boyfriend Dave. They're shuttling me from one end to the other. So yeah, that's the plan. Not really quite sure. I think the 4.1 mile or 4.1 mile route might be the way to go. Not wild about reversing my path just because, but it may be the only option. So I also have no idea what the trail condition is. And I assuming that it's not plowed. And this is going to be brutal right here with the wind. Right on that river. That's going to be brutal. Thankfully, I think if the wind's out of the northwest or the northeast, that's really going to stink. If it's the wind's out of the northwest, it'll be at our back and we'll be okay. I don't have any kind of face covering, like any, the little hood things, the neoprene back gloves. I can never say what it is. The back lava. I left that at home. Kind of wish I hadn't. So right now I'm just enjoying some hot coffee and enjoying being warm because we're about to be out in the cold for 4+ hours. So, but that is the challenge of hiking in the winter time. So I'll check in when I hit the trailhead and see, kind of share which route we decided to take. Here. Hey, we're just starting off. We've done the first 1/10 of a mile of our 4-mile hike today. Somebody's having a good time, a little bit too much of a good time in the snow. We're not really focused on hiking now, are we, Azalea? Nope, we're not. But we have some beautiful scenery out here, lots of snow. Earlier I said 2 to 3. It's been told it's probably going to be more like 5, which would have been enough for snowshoes. However, I got to stop her from wandering too much. However, yeah, I don't have them with me, and I don't like wearing them with the dog. Anyways, I'm always afraid I'm going to step on her paws with the crampons. So you can see she's got her little new boots on. We had to stop and get those. I was worried about her feet. She's getting pretty good in them. First she didn't really care for them, and now I think she likes them. So however, we're being a little stubborn right now, aren't we? Yeah, we think we can just go wherever. So so yeah, just got a little bit further to go, a lot further. So, but there's kind of what I get to see for a while. So I'll check in from time to time, keep you guys posted as the progress, and we'll go from there. So here's where it really gets dicey, because I'm not familiar with where this trail goes. The trail is snow covered, and so I essentially have to hike marker to marker, just kind of look for, because it's a nice 30-foot or so clearing on either side. Oops, gotta turn around here because the dog is wandering. But the other thing is, if I just follow the river too, I should be okay. But yeah, so I think that'll be all right. But I also have a map with me. But if I can't, see the trail, the map doesn't do a whole lot of good. So, but yeah, it's just very pretty out here. Azalea's liking her new boots, and she's doing really good on the trail today. Yesterday she was pulling a lot. Today we started out the day being a little bit of a diva. The booties are yellow and not like pink, so, and she's struggling, so I'm gonna get back to hiking with her. Oh yeah, she got hit with one of those, and it was the end of the world. Just dumped right on her head. Now she just walked through some water, so I'll be picking her up in a minute. So I've gone about a mile, and as it turns out, this is a paved path. It's not grass like I thought it was going to be. So easy going, not much to worry about. Oops, that was kind of quick, Blair Witch. Oh, make you seasick. That's horrible. A lot of park over there. So far so good. She's adjusting to her little booties. I know, you're glad we got those, huh? So it's actually a really nice trail. Very, very nice. Again, now I'm not so worried about losing the trail, because before I thought it was going to be grass, and you wouldn't be able to discern where the trail was at. So we're only going to we did decide to do the shorter leg today, so like 4.1 miles or something. Azalea, what are you doing? Come on, you can't go in there. Come on, let's go. Here. There we go. Now we got our legs back all of a sudden. I did have to pick her up once already. She was favoring that back paw a little bit. And then I just put her back down and she started walking again. So, some really nice scenery here. One of the points of interest that I want to go to, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, is there's a historical marker, a point of interest, something to do with the Black Hawk Wars back, well, I'm not sure what year. I'm sure we'll find out when we get there. I don't even want to speculate because, well, I'd just rather go and find out. So, a lot of great scenery here. Camera really doesn't do it justice. This is a segment, I mean, this is an hour away from, ooh, look at that, there's a tunnel there. I don't know if I can zoom in. There's a little like aqueduct or something there. Or I think that might be, that's a railway bed. And I'm not sure if it's, up there, that's a railway bed. And I'm not sure, yeah, that's definitely a railway bed. I'm not sure if it's still active or not. Here, come, here, it's just water, you don't want to. So, when I'm hiking with Azalea, my mile times definitely fall off considerably, because we gotta stop and inspect everything. However, what I do like about that is it's not a race. You know, it's supposed to be meditative and restorative, and you're supposed to enjoy the scenery. She sometimes will, well, quite often will stop and remind me of that just by perking up, and like she's doing now, she likes to look at stuff and check it out. So I don't know how much of the trail she'll be able to do with me. Hoping that I can get all of it knocked out with her. She did not do the Potawatomi segment with me, so I had to stay at an inn. So, and they allowed dogs there, but I didn't have a crate, so I had to keep spinning around because she'll go behind me with the leash and then try to take my legs out when she runs. So, that's one thing I'm learning, is that if you're doing this in the winter, it can get costly, because especially in an area like Janesville, basically, you know, it's snowing right now, and there's not a state park there's not a state park around here too close to here that has, you know, camping this time of year. They're all privately owned in the area, and so none of them open until like May. Well, you know, our spring break doesn't start in May, and I want to get this one knocked out. And so you're left with no option other than to really get a hotel room that's pet friendly. Well, if you're, either way, whether you got a pet or not, you're stuck with that's your option. Get a hotel room. So winter hiking the Ice Age Trail, or hiking the Ice Age Trail in the winter, can get costly for sure. There's no question about that. So, and I think somebody is. Yep. See, there she goes with that paw. Yep. Is it okay? Can you keep going? You gonna tough it out? You gonna tough it out, or do you need me to pick you up? All right. So this is, you got to carry me. This is the you got to carry me behavior, because, yep. Okay, I will. I'm gonna go. All right. So we got to carry the Duchess because she's done hiking for a while. So I'll check in a bit. This way. Azalea, this way. Come on. This way. Come on, this way. Whoop. Maybe I can blur that out later. Oh, stop pulling. Somebody's getting a little, you know, it's funny when she can walk and when she can't. So kind of seems like I'm just done walking, so you're going to carry me, as opposed to, oh, my foot really hurts. So it was interesting. Went right through a little tunnel there. Lots of fun. Not quite sure where the next signpost, there it is, right up there. Kind of hard to spot when they're snow covered, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this away now, pull out my map, and check to see where I gotta go from here. So should have brought the guidebook, but I did not. So that is that. We're right by the Janesville hydro plant. And I kind of think I'm on the path. It's a little vague at this point as to whether or not I'm on it. But I think it goes down through here. Again, when I'm not certain, I just follow the river. Feels like I got concrete under the snow here. Here we go. Ice Age Trail right here. Oh, Rock River Trail. Well, that's not gonna happen. No, I don't think we're going down there, Azalea. I don't think we're going down there. That ways. I kind of doubt, I don't know, I don't think you're supposed to go down there. Maybe you are, I don't know. Seems like maybe you are. I'm gonna see if I can follow it up top here, see what happens. Come on, Azalea, this way. I think we're gonna have to take a bit of a detour. Come on. No, we're not going that way. We're not going that way. Here. All right, I'm gonna have to stop this because she is certain that we're gonna go down there by the river, and we just simply are not. It's moving way too fast. So. Right over there, you can see them. They kind of disappeared a bit. There's one of them right there. Some white-tailed deer. There were 5 of them. There's some over in that brush over there moving. You really can't see them. But I came up on them. Oh, there they are. They're on the move.
feel kind of... Was there one in there? Yeah, he's got his back to us, or she's got her back to us. Oh, there's two of them right there. Right there. A little bit further away from me than the one in a little bit further away from me than the one on the Ice Age Trail. Yep, I'm gonna go like that, so that's better. A little bit further away from me than the ones on the Ice Age Trail up by Potawatomi State Park in Sturgeon Bay. I still like watching that clip. I think it was really close. Actually looks, I watch it and I don't know, maybe it's adrenaline, I don't know. He just startled me. But I felt like he was a lot closer than maybe he was. Oops. Man, I gotta get a GoPro or something. But yeah, there's all kind of deer back there. Well, I counted 5 when I came up. I didn't really seem to care. It was kind of foraging around for food. So, walked past the Black Hawk War signpost, historical marker, and we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. I might go back there and kind of show what it is, but yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. So I'm about 4 miles from the hotel. Interestingly enough, the hotel that I booked, the room that I booked, butts up right against the trailhead. So actually, once I get to the end of this Janesville segment here, I will be within a quarter mile of the hotel room. So and it's just the trailhead here dead ends. Should say dead ends, but it stops right by the road that you need to take to get. I think it's like Kettle Inn or something like that. But anyways, I was kind of surprised to see that. That was good luck. But as I was saying earlier, traveling with a dog and winter hiking or doing this trail in the winter time, it's actually a bit pricey, because as I noted, like, we have spring break right now, and I was looking for a campground to, for my travel trailer, but there's no state parks in the immediate area, and so basically what I ended up doing is I ended up having to get a room. Every every campground in the immediate area that's close to this portion of the trail, this segment, the Janesville segment, is privately owned, and so they don't open till May, and in May you can't have dogs on this segment. So yeah, so that didn't work out very well. But anyways, I'm not a big fan of hotel rooms. Loud all night, people coming in, leaving. But it is what it is. We'll get through it. So, but this is absolutely fantastic here. Like I said, I got about maybe 4 miles left. So, with that being said, I have to cross up here. Again, tomorrow we'll be talking about, I'll go visit the Black Hawk War historical marker. It's not much, I mean, it's a historical marker essentially like right in the middle of the Black Hawk golf course there. So Presumably they named the golf course after the site. So, whoops, keep almost dropping this thing. So, all right, I will check in a little bit. We're almost done with the Janesville segment, or I am. So. All right, so we just stepped off on the Arbor Ridge segment, about maybe a 1/10 of a mile in, and we're gonna turn the camera around here. Azalea is pulling. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. There we go. And here we're at the authentic Wisconsin Pioneer Log Cabin. It's 1840s vintage, rebuilt here in 2002. This is pretty cool. It's not open at the moment, but pretty simplistic. Bet you there's, it's only one room, one would assume. We're not going in there, Azalea. We're not going in there. So, fireplace, heat the whole place. That's a big fireplace for a little house like that, but you know, it gets cold, so obviously can't have too much warmth. That is pretty cool. And Azalea wants to go in there. Her boots are too big, I think. So, but anyways, that's the log cabin. So, finishing this weekend's trip off Arbor Ridge segment, the Robert O. Cook Arboretum and Laboratory. Segment runs right through there, and so I'm getting the dog untangled from her leash. I'm really glad that I decided to finish on this segment, because this is more along the lines of the type of hiking that I like to do. I found that out in Sturgeon Bay, it's quite a bit of, you know, like urban hiking. There's a lot of hiking behind, well, you actually hike through like shipyards and stuff, or behind shipyards. Here, you really hiked in close to town, along a river walk, and it was absolutely, it was great. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful. There was a lot to see. Seems to me there's one side of the river is more the newer, more developed, I shouldn't say more developed, but the newer part of Janesville. And then you go west of the river, and that's where like the kind of the more historic downtown might be, I guess. A lot of older buildings down there, some really cool sculptures. I'll post pictures of that stuff later. But this is really what I like right here, out in the woods, hiking. This is only a 2-mile segment, 2.1 miles. Kind of nice to finish off the trip with this one. I mean, there's no doubt that the yesterday's hike was fun and enjoyable, just in a different way. So, went back to Riverside Park this morning, did some geocaching. There's an earth catch there, a cold catch, that's part of the Ice Age Trail cold caching series. At least I think it is. And I think before I leave here, I'm gonna go back to that artisan well and grab some water from there. I got 2 Nalgene bottles with me. Nagling bottles. with me. I'll fill those up, take them home, filter them, see what it tastes like. Rather interesting fact on that artesian well, it was 920 feet deep, and I could do a live broadcast when I get there. 920 feet deep, and it's been in operation. Technically, I believe it will never stop flowing, apparently.
Total distance 1 mile. Total time 32 minutes
tracker.
and 17 seconds. Split pace 32 minutes 17 seconds per mile.
Yep. That's what happens when you hike with a dog. Your splits go down the tube. But anyways, yeah. So basically, it should never stop flowing. However, they did notice, like in the 1990 or something like that, they noticed a reduction in the flow rate. And so I think that they attributed it to a higher water consumption as Janesville grew. Just kind of couldn't keep up. And so kind of like a water tower, right? If you don't have enough gallons per minute or enough capacity, you're gonna have a reduced flow rate. So but in any case, just a really cool place. Again, I think I'm gonna go back there, stop back in there and grab some water out of there, because I always like to do that when I come across the artesian wells. See if the water tastes any different, because then when you revisit the area, well, if you're camping, you can grab your water from there. But I always like to proof it at home, so to speak. I know that's a technical term, but I always like to try it at home just in case it makes me ill. That way I'm not ill on a camping trip. And there's a bridge right over there, so we'll see if Azalea goes for the bridge. She likes bridges, and she saw it, and now she wants to go. So, yep. We're not going that way, Azalea. We're not going that way. We have to go up. I know you don't like up. You don't like up, but we have to go up. So, with that said, I'm going to get her rounded up, and I'll touch base when I finish the trail, maybe back at the Artisan Spring. So, I got to get her back on track. Come on. Come on. This is just kind of great view. The edge is right there. So the total width of the path, the edge of that, it's pretty slim. But you wouldn't go right into the river. There's like a little wall there, so, but it's very cool. Come on, let's go. We're almost there. We got 0.6 of a mile, Azalea. Come on. Well, somebody is boycotting right now. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on. Okay, you're doing this on camera. Everybody can see. Yeah, that's what I thought. I gotta say, she is pretty good about hiking. She stays right behind me. I almost am willing to bet I don't need a leash. However, I keep her leashed when I'm unfamiliar with the trail system. This is really pretty. So I don't know if kettles have rivers that go through them. I don't know. I'm still fairly new into the geology and history of the Ice Age Trail. But there's definitely a big ravine at the bottom of which there's a river. There's a gully right here. So goes down that way. But all right, I'm gonna see if I can get her hustling. Just wanted to share the view with everybody. I don't know if you can see it, but right back in there, there's a tunnel. The river flows. It was drilled in 1939, and it was drilled to a depth of 970 feet. I just pulled some water from there. I want to try that later. Drilled to a depth of 970 feet, 270 feet down. Well, the steel pipe goes 270. So the steel pipe goes 270 feet down. And it served Janesville for 50 years until 1990, I guess. They ran some tests on it. The flow became sporadic in 1989, 1990, and they did some testing. All right, so as the sign says, this is the Black Hawk War. There's a historical marker here. There was an encampment here. They found tent poles. So in April 1832, unhappy about their forced relocation to Iowa and misadvised by tribal chiefs, about 1,000 Sac, Fox, Kickapoo, and Kickapoo men, women, and children followed Sac war leader Black Hawk back to their Illinois home where the Rock River meets the Mississippi. During May and June, Indian raiding parties attacked the homesteads and settlements in Illinois and Michigan territories. At the May 21st Indian Creek raid, 15 settlers were killed and 2 sisters, the Hall girls, were captured. According to local tradition, Black Hawk's band went north up the Rock River, camping several days here at Springs Brook Creek and giving the Hall girls to Winnebago Indians, who later ransomed them to settlers. Pursued by General Henry Atkinson's troops, Black Hawk continued north, then west to the Mississippi, but most of the Indians drowned or were killed by troops in August at the Battle of Bad Axe. 3 years later, Janesville settlers found the remains of Indian tent poles and campfires, and called this place Black Hawk's Grove. So this, I guess, is Black Hawk's Grove. Now, the home of Black Hawk Golf Course. Interesting story, a little interesting tidbit that the Black Hawk was an individual. You know, that's cool. I find it interesting that they went all the way into Michigan from here. That's 180, 200 miles. That's a cruise to stage an attack. But very interesting stuff. So apparently there was an encampment here of Native Americans, and they stayed here for a while, and then ransomed some people up to Kickapoo, or gave them to the Winnebago it was. Can't keep my tribes straight, which is not cool, but very cool information. So now I'm on my way home. That wraps up my trip to Janesville. Knocked out Arbor Ridge, Devil's Staircase, and the Janesville segment. Like total mileage for the trip was roughly 14 miles. So good trip. So